Hi, my name is Amanda, and first, just thank you so much for considering my Modest Needs application. Before I tell you why I placed in this application, let me tell you a little bit about my daughter. Her name is Nyla, and she just turned 16. It's just been Nyla and I since she was about 2, and we're a team. We always talk about it's just the two of us, and we gotta stick together. Nyla has always been a great joy. She was in the advanced program all through elementary school. So bright. All of her teachers would tell me what a bright future she had, how smart she was, how gifted she was, all the different things they could see her being in the future. She loves animals. She likes to cosplay, if anybody out there knows what that is. She is so funny and so smart and just so much fun to be around. As I said, elementary school was great. She was in the gifted program, good grades, just all around a good kid. In middle school, she started to struggle a little bit, but I didn't really think too much of it. I thought, that's a hard time for all of us. It's a different kind of school environment. You go to the different classes and hormones and all that fun stuff that happens at that time. By the end of middle school, I'd kind of started to worry about her a little bit. Her grades had slipped, and she seemed a little more distant than she had been before. But she was so excited about high school, and I thought, well, that'll be okay. Then she'll get into high school, and she'll find her group of friends and, get involved in extracurricular activities, maybe get a job. But 2015 was not a great year for our little team. It was Nyla's 9th grade year, and as I said, she'd seem withdrawn, but we're so close. I figured if she had any problems, she would tell me, right? But one day while I was at work, I got a phone call from her counselor at school, and she told me that she'd had Nyla in her office, and she was concerned about some things Nyla had said. Basically, that she'd been struggling with panic attacks and depression and maybe even thoughts of hurting herself. As a parent, that's obviously not what you want to hear. And it was very upsetting to think that I didn't know that this was going on. But the counselor assured me that teenagers are very good at hiding those things from their parents. But it still hurt. So, of course, we got her help. Got her in to see a counselor that she's still seeing today. Got her into a psychiatrist to have her diagnosed. Did all the things that I thought as a parent I should do. Became very familiar with the mental health resources in our town. And I'm very grateful that we have many of those. So the reason I am asking for help through Modest Needs is because of an insurance issue. Nyla was on a state-funded insurance program that's supposed to help close the gap between those who need and qualify for Medicaid and those who can purchase their own insurance or have insurance that's affordable or provided through their employer. I am fortunate enough to have insurance through my employer, but it is very expensive to add a dependent. So we applied for and were qualified for our state-funded program. That's all the paperwork I had for her. That's the insurance card I had for her. That's what I used through all of 2014 and into 2015. However, at some point into 2014, actually in November of 2014, for some reason, she was switched to Medicaid. I don't know why she was switched. Nobody can really tell me why. I've spent hours and hours on the phone and writing appeals and going to advocates trying to get an answer and trying to get help with this, but I've lucked out. Now, all through 2014 And into 2015, I was under the impression she was on the state-funded program. So when I started looking for help for her at the beginning of 2015, that's who the providers I looked for. I looked to see if they would take this insurance, and that's what we found. However, in about April or May of that year, I got an email from Nyla's counselor saying, "Hey, just to let you know, I just got a message from our billing department saying that your insurance was declined." And I thought, well, that's weird. Why would that happen? I hadn't gotten any paperwork or anything like that, so I was confused. So I contacted them, and they said, "Oh, that's because she doesn't have this insurance. She's on Medicaid." And I said, "No." When did that happen? "Oh, yeah, we sent you a letter." And I honestly don't recall ever getting a letter. I don't have a card for that, but they assure me that all of that stuff was sent. The real problem comes from up until that point, the state-funded program had been paying all of her medical bills and all of her therapy sessions. However, when this error was discovered, they wanted all the money back that they had paid. And Medicaid, unfortunately, Nyla's insurance provider didn't accept. So what went from maybe an $80 bill became a $2,000+ bill overnight. So that's why I'm here today talking to you. We have gotten her insurance figured out, so she's back on our state-funded plan. She's still seeing her therapist that she has been seeing from the beginning. My hope is that through this modest needs request, that we'll be able to continue to see her, because at this point, the bill is very large, and they're aware that I'm doing this and applying for this and trying to get help to cover this 2015 bill. And in 2015 was just one of those years that just kicks you in the teeth for us, because first this happened, and then you have to get new tires, and then instead of getting a tax return, you end up owing $600 in taxes somehow, and it's just been a rough year, and I'm just hoping and praying that 2016 is our year, and with your help, maybe it can be. Thank you so much for your consideration, and thank you all so much.